I loved you so much. I did everything for you. How could you just sit here? Just sit here like this now. I killed him for us, so we could be together. He had your mind. He took your mind over. In order to save you, I had to eliminate him. I killed him for us. Don't cry. Why are you doing this to me? Don't you know what I'm capable of? You would much rather have my love than anything else. Fine. If you don't want to give me your love, then maybe you'll want to meet my friends. But make sure it's what you want, because once they come out, there is no stopping them. And I will be honest whenever I say, none of them, not one, wanted me around you. I have done everything I can to protect you from them. What do you mean I'm crazy? I'm crazy? You have no idea what crazy even is. If you would only give me one kiss. Just kiss me. No? Really? Okay then, you know what? I think it's time. You show me so much hate that there's no going back after this. You won't love me, even though I love you. But I can't let you go. And at the same time, I can't do this. I just can't. I can't do it myself. It's time for you to meet my next friend. This friend has been like a mother to me now for some time. And as I always say, mothers know best. Hello there, girl. Welcome to my home now. I am one known as the Protector. I am the mother of the world, and I have no name. The only thing you need to know is if there were something to name me, it would mean more than evil. And now, my girl, it is time for you to find out what that means. Don't you cry now. Don't cry now. You had your chance. We have hated you for so long. And if you would have only given your heart, he would have protected you. You refused, and this is your consequence. Your consequence for ruining him, for breaking him. By the end of this, you will be two people, and I will have your heart. From this point, I tied her feet into 2 nooses and had her hanging from a tree. I grabbed a hacksaw. Yes, that's right. Because what I needed to do, the bones in the way would not be very tough. But that just won't be good enough. She broke his heart. For that much, she deserves so much more. So I sat the hacksaw down and picked up a hammer. She has to pay first before the end. The first thing I did was to hit the top of her feet. Oh, the screams. It felt so good to hear. It's been so long. Then onto her ankles. And although they were harder, they took a little longer to break, but eventually break they did. They broke into nice little pieces. Now onto her knees. But damn, they shattered fast. Now it's time to get down to business. Looking her in the eyes, I could see the fear. I dropped the hammer and picked back up the hacksaw. I started walking around her. She is trembling so much in fear and in pain. I put the hacksaw against her calf and pulled slowly but firmly. I could feel each and every tooth of the blade cutting. It felt like popping rubber bands. You could tell she was in so much pain. So much that she couldn't even scream. The blood smelled wonderful. It smelled almost like a handful of pennies. It was lovely. I moved the blade just below the last cut and did the same thing and kept doing this over and over until her body had cuts from head to toe. I then looked at her and I said, "Not so pretty now, are you?" All she could do was just look. She couldn't move. She couldn't go anywhere. That's whenever I looked at her and said, "It's time." Her eyes became large. She just asked, "Why? Why? I would have given you a chance if you would have just given me the time." Time? Who the hell did she think she was talking to? That's whenever I realized she was one of those people who just could not understand. So I looked at her and said, "I'm not Jacob." She just looked at me so broken. So broken. And I told her, "Don't worry. Your suffering will be over soon, girl." I put the hacksaw between her legs and cut her and continued cutting and cutting and cutting. Her little weak bones were no match for that hacksaw. She died about halfway through. I made sure to do two things though. One, I cut out her heart. And I made sure to keep her head separated from the body. This way, after the police were done looking for her, I had a little plan. That following Christmas, I dug up her head and sent it to her parents. This way, they knew she was dead, and that way, they could see what their so-called God had done allowed to happen. I also kept the heart frozen. And eventually, I cooked it and ate it. This way the heart was inside of me, and I truly had her heart. The police came by a few times to question me, but I kept my cool. And as soon as they left me alone, that's right, I waited a year to move, as I didn't want to look suspicious. But now, I have a part of her forever for Jacob. He also has a lock of her hair. This way he always has a part of her that he can touch and he can feel. To me, he should just stay alone, as no woman will treat him as well as we do. No one will understand him more than we do. We love him more than the world. Yes, they say evil cannot love, but what do they know? We can love better than anyone, and we can kill more horrifically than any animal in this world.